Hi, we're the Mars. Welcome to our home, the Camtana by Affinity Homes.
We struggled for a while trying to come up with the perfect name for what we think is the perfect house. And we have our heart in two places, basically, in Camas and in Montana. And Buck actually was the one that coined the phrase, what about Camtana?
We've lived our entire life about even. 2 sons, and everything that they have ever done or participated in, they've done it perfectly even. And so now we've even built our residences to be even. Montana for 6 months with one family, and the Washington, Oregon connection with the other family. And so Camtana seemed a little bit natural.
We were living on the East Coast in Virginia, having retired from the military and working for Lockheed Martin. We started having grandkids and were way too far away from them.
One of us really wanted to get to the West Coast, and so it was retire from Lockheed Martin and go with her, or stay there single. So we moved out to Kyla, Montana.
We wanted to be involved in the grandkids' lives day to day, not just on vacations at the cabin.
One day I suggested that she might like to build another home. We had done that previously, and she jumped on it, and our journey into this home and with Affinity began right there.
We had started to do homework and had gotten the name of several builders. From what we heard, we kind of thought we wanted to stalk John. The things we heard about him interested us quite a bit. So we checked when he had open houses, and we went to one of his new home open houses. And to our surprise and delight, he actually was there himself that day. So it was a chance meeting the first time.
And so after meeting John, we took about 5 minutes to make up the decision that this is the person that was ideally suited for making our dreams come true with what would likely be our last home. I think that it's logical to say that we were going to build a home that made her happy, and I would adapt.
And I can't refute that.
It was obvious to me that John was the one that was going to make her happy with the final home, as he had imagination and enthusiasm. He just didn't build a house, he painted a house for you visually.
Buck has a good analogy that he came up with not too long ago in referring John to some other potential clients.
You know, some people paint by numbers, and other people's are Picasso-like. John is a Picasso. He doesn't paint by numbers with his homes. And that just drew us right in, and it's been one happy journey ever since.
The other thing that really attracted us was he is such a people person. We liked him instantly. We liked what we'd heard about him. He took time to listen to what we thought, what ideas we liked, what we wanted. Sometimes we were having trouble describing exactly what we'd want, and we'd catch John sketching out things as we were talking to him, and then he would mirror back our idea to us on paper. That was just an amazing ability that he was able to put all of that together in one package.
There were things that we wanted, but they were, as we learned soon thereafter, impossible to do. But he never said no. He would draw or sketch, and we were able to derive the no from what he had done. That's a beautiful thing, to be able to steer things without just saying, no, we can't do that.
We, I think, had a rather unique situation. We did have the house in Steamboat Landing, put it on the market, and it sold before we had even broken ground for this house. We have property, as we've mentioned, in Montana, and decided that we would go and live in our Camtana cabin and a condo that we own there, rather than renting locally. So we built long distance, and we built long distance during COVID. We had wonderful meetings with John and Chuck at the crucial times. They were good about coordinating the schedule and letting us know when it was important to show up and go over things in person. And otherwise, they did FaceTime, they did videos, photos.
Whatever it took.
We wanted to bring some Montana into the decor. There were some difficult moments with getting the right timbers, the right amount of wood. We didn't want to go too rustic, but we definitely wanted the wood influence. We looked at each other often and said, if this comes anywhere close to what we have in mind, we're going to be so fortunate. And they just maxed the course. It was amazing to us that we would show up to see and, you know, kind of tiptoe in, hoping things would be somewhat like what we wanted. And if it veered at all from the plan, it enhanced it. We actually had planned every inch of this, and yet to see it all come together as a whole, I do remember that feeling. It was a speechless moment, and I don't have many of those in my life. So we came in through the back way, and the first thing I saw was this fireplace with the high ceilings and the tall cabinets, and then my kitchen that I had dreamed so much about. It just was breathtaking.
She headed for the kitchen, I headed for the patio. It was just a delight. It was like Christmas. We were dashing from one corner to the other, constantly yelling back and forth, well, you gotta see this, you gotta see this.
Definitely a wow moment. Just delighted through and through.
Some builders will close the door behind them after closing and they walk off and you're never going to see them again. That just is not the case with Affinity. John and Chuck both have been extremely loyal and hardworking in making sure the inevitable number of things that need correcting or fixing when you move into a home happen in a timely way. But the most incredible experience with Affinity, and of course Chuck was intimately involved, was during the winter storm that we had here just this past December on a Christmas holiday weekend. Chuck and his assistant Eric were out here trying to help us. Then it came time to fix the damage, and they did the scheduling of the subs to come in and do the fixes in a timely way. They walked with us the entire journey.
We have built houses in the past. For several years we didn't build houses because as Buck was more senior in the military, we were required to live on base, quite often in 1900s homes, which were gorgeous and on historical registers. But all along the way, we were collecting ideas and thoughts and things we liked and things we didn't like about the houses.
So moving into this house, we were able to take a lot of the good ideas that we'd always wanted to have and build them in a way that supported, our lifestyle. The best, example I can think of is the story about John suggesting we put a second story on the house. We were going to go single because of getting older and wanting to be all on one floor. John said it was a good idea to have the extra square footage up above for resale, and he started calling it the investment suite. Well, time goes on. The oldest grandson, the oldest grandchild, graduated from high school and was offered an opportunity to play baseball down at Linfield, which is only an hour and 15 minutes away from there. He travels from Montana to McMinnville via PDX, the airport. When he flies in and out, he stays with us, and so the investment suite became the baseball suite. Again, indicative of how we feel about the family. We've settled on it's the family suite instead of the investment suite, and it fits us.